Okay, guys, I'm getting a low network connection out of the gate. Not a good sign. Feels like today is a little bit random. Not exactly sure what's going on. I woke up this morning kind of early, but I went to bed kind of early. And I have to be honest, I've been waking up in a lot of fear lately. Just useless fear. Worry about things that aren't actually happening. Good morning, Soph. I see that you're commenting. Um, Worrying about potential things that could happen. It's just really strange to me. And it's kind of got me this week. It's really been bugging me. It's been almost making me not want to post, making me think that I'm fooling myself, that this isn't going to work. And it's really strong, this fear. And I'm trying not to entertain it. And I know as I'm talking about it to you guys, I am entertaining it. But I took 20 minutes this morning to try and meditate and get my energy kind of back on track this morning before shooting this video. So hopefully that will help. Is somebody here right now? Oh no. I think somebody's just rang the doorbell. 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. 1 second. Somebody's here, guys. Somebody's here. It's okay. Never a good idea to leave your live stream when you're hearing bells. No, the dogs barked. I thought somebody was ringing the doorbell, but I guess not. Hey, Nancy. Hey, Kelsey Dale Durant. Good morning. Good morning, Rose Renee, Rose Nicole, and hey, Janice. So anyways, yeah, so I'm trying to work my way through this anxiety and this fear. It's really crazy. Good morning, Ducky. Good morning, Joseph. You guys, please like, share, and subscribe. I know most of you do subscribe to the YouTube channel, but like and share also the Facebook video out there. Hype the YouTube channel if you can. I would love to have this be all just on one thing versus three. Speaking of which, I need to try and find this on Facebook right now and post it to my Facebook business page. Let me see, and there it is. I like it when it shows up right away. Yeah, it's just been so strange to me that it's like, I don't know, just mad fear. I don't like it at all. And it's unneeded and useless. And I know, and the crappy part is I'm aware of it, but I still can't seem to stop it. 1 second. Okay, quiet moment. Dead air. All right, let's post that. Okay, so we're live there now on the business page. Okay, let me close this so maybe I'm not getting dings every time. All right, so yesterday's card was brilliance, which I really felt like it was in stark contrast to what the card was in the beginning of the week on Sunday, which was narrowness. And I feel like yesterday I was stuck more in that card of narrowness. I don't know how your guys' yesterday went. I hope you guys found moments to shine and be brilliant. I did take time to meditate yesterday, and that did help. I did find a movie or later in the evening called Heal on Netflix. It was beautiful. It was like bringing me to tears. It was definitely about the power of the mind and sort of the effects that the mind can have. And I talk about this all of the time because I truly do believe it, that we as creators have the opportunity to sort of manifest whatever it is we give our attention to and whatever we focus on. That's where some of my frustration is falling with me lately, because the last few days through a series of like weird events, like Mexico is throwing, I don't want to entertain it too much, but I need to talk about it, I think, to get it out there. Mexico is sort of throwing these weird experiences at me that are kind of spooky, kind of feeling out of my control, and I'm kind of not liking them. And so it's making me anxious, it's making me nervous. I'm really feeling the language barrier. I'm really feeling all of the things that I thought were fun about Mexico are becoming almost oppressive and hard to deal with. And so I'm working through this energy, and it's really hard. It's a matter of like, do I stay? Do I go? Back and forth. So yesterday's card, Brilliance, was really an opportunity for us to sort of come into our own brilliance of our mind and how it works, maybe start using it as an asset versus detriment. I don't know how that worked out for everybody. I know for me that it did work a little bit later in the evening, but then at other times I struggled. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust this camera. Well, that's going to have to work. And then at other times I sort of struggled. So, I'm human too. Nothing is perfect. And I got to see, I certainly felt that movie Heal was brilliant. And I could see the beauty in that. And it definitely calmed my mind and reminded me of some of the stuff that I intuitively know and what I try and live by is very, very true. Just sometimes I get caught up in my own worries and fears, and they seem very real and very palpable. And like all of a sudden the universe starts throwing things at me. Not throwing things at me, but like experiences start coming my way that sort of match that that fear or that worry, and it almost compounds upon it. Does that make sense? So I'm tired, guys. I'm really, really tired trying to live in a foreign country, get a business off the ground, believe in myself enough that I can do this. It gets to be a lot. And so I think it's just weighing me down. I'm working through it though. I'm working through it. So let's get to today's card. Today's card is for Thursday, April 4th. Let's see the energy of what Thursday has got for us. Hopefully, I liked yesterday's Brilliance card. I just unfortunately was not able to stay in it all day at all. At all. Okay, give me one moment. Okay, so the resistance in the card feels good today in the sense that it doesn't feel too heavy or too overwhelming, any of that stuff. The card that we're getting today is Rejoicer, the Woman of Cups. And that's funny because we're at Thursday, right? So we still have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But if you go back and you re-watch the video from this Sunday, which I've created a playlist for the week, and I've been adding the videos into the playlist each week so you can kind of look at the whole week as a whole and see where it fit in and what was accurate and what wasn't, and that sort of thing. Our ending of the week is Man of Cups, which was Surfer. So it's funny that this Woman of Cups is showing up today because it's like that Cups energy, that emotional energy. The Woman of Cups, obviously she's going to be feminine, so she's going to be a bit more nurturing. And Rejoicer says to me that it is an opportunity to enjoy things. Today should be an opportunity for us to find emotional sort of respite, freedom. Hopefully that 20-minute meditation I did this morning is going to allow me to kind of not get caught up in my head again today like I did yesterday. And I think that when I look at this card, it says to me that there is this opportunity for just feeling free, inspired, similar to like that brilliance card where, I just turn on some light a little bit, similar to that brilliance card where we're allowed to sort of shine and really live in that moment. And I feel like this is some of that. I do see in this card a little bit of sort of maybe the past haunting us a little bit, giving us a little bit of things to worry about if we choose to go there. I also see a little bit of homesickness, some distance, some feeling of sadness or emotions around distance for some of us. So if there's some of us that are feeling like homesick or I don't know, missing somebody from far away, long distance relationship, things of that nature. If those things come up today, don't worry. If those feelings come up today, that's sort of what's on deck today with this card. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be the entire day or the whole day, because the card is the overarching theme of the card is rejoicer, which is like this opportunity to rejoice, to be grateful, to be thankful for what we have, to really feel like relief and maybe be free of some of the heavier things that we might have been dealing with throughout the week or throughout, just of recent for ourselves. This card always too signifies for me definite like feminine power and definite, emotional power. But what I want to say here is that I want to talk to the ladies in the group, all the single ladies, okay? The ladies in the group, I feel like this is a really good time to bond with some women around you. This card has always been about sort of feminine bonding for me. And the reason why I feel that is there's these two female faces here, and they look absolutely like joyous and free. And they feel like they need to connect, that they want to come together, that they want to celebrate each other in their womanliness. Does that make sense? So whenever I see this card, it makes me think of that. And I think that what I want to predict for this day, or what I want to say that would be beneficial for this day, is for some of you women and men like myself with high amounts of feminine energy, and proud of it, quite frankly. Thank you very much. But to embrace your feminine side, or embrace your feminine like friendships, relationships, sisterhoods, and really sort of pour some energy, pour some joy into them. And watch them bloom, watch them blossom, watch them sort of feed you back in a way energetically, and give you that sort of lift that you may need. Jenny says, I'll come and entertain you today. Keep out of your head. I got wheels. Oh, cool, Jenny. I don't know where the hell you got wheels from, but crazy. So for me, that's kind of what I'm getting on this card is I actually have a couple of readings booked. I have a really busy day today. I have a couple of readings booked. I have somebody coming at 10:30. I'm supposed to pick up my truck from the shop, go see the therapist, and get to the doctor all before 5:30 today. I don't know how I'm supposed to pull it off. Plus, I'm shooting this video. So I'm just going to wing it, stay positive. I'm going to rejoice. I'm going to live in my, strong, powerful, feminine energy. And this is another thing too, feminine energy. Let's just talk about this for a minute. To me, and cups too, cups, this being the woman of cups. Cups energy is water, emotions, right? Which I'm a Pisces, I'm a water sign, mutable. Water it moves around things. It has the power to sort of erode things over time. It has a power to find new paths and new avenues of where to go when something is blocking its way. And feminine energy is very similar in that sense to me, in my mind, the way I perceive or intuit feminine energy. Feminine energy is always it can be multitasking. It can think of different avenues and different ways to get around sort of things in a more passive nature. It's not like masculine, strong energy that sort of muscles its way through and says, fuck this, I'm doing it, bull in a china shop. It's not that way. It's more soft. It's just as strong, don't get me wrong, but it's more soft, and it's similar to water, right? In that sense that water can go around a rock and slowly erode the rock and almost change the shape of the rock and change the path altogether in due time, right? With patience and with I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but I think you guys get the idea. So this card to me feels very strong in that. And I'm going to take that message for myself is remain calm, remain somewhat passive to the day and let the day come at me. And then as the day and the experiences come at me, maybe figure out, let my water or my cups energy, my emotional self, my more feminine side, my feminine intuition too. That's another thing about feminine energy, is intuition is very much associated with that. So we utilize our intuition today. Allow that to sort of open us up to finding new paths around the situations that may sort of seem to be not working in our favor, or may seem to be getting in our way, seem to be like bothersome or whatever. I don't think that there's going to be anything super major bothersome today. Like, I'm using myself as an example. I have just a very big day ahead of me, right? So I'm hoping that everything falls into place. In Mexico, what I noticed is nothing seems to want to fall into place as easily as one would think. There's always this sort of like monkey wrench that happens. And it's a definite test of patience. And at first I thought it was charming and cute. And then I had moments where I was really frustrated by it as an American. And now I'm sort of, sometimes I fluctuate between the two. And now I'm in this place where I have to remind myself, oh, this is that thing. This is that patience teacher that is part of being in Mexico, that I do have to sort of come into alignment and acceptance with and learn from, because it's a part of me that I'm lacking or that I don't have and that I need. And so this card to me feels like there's opportunities for that today, as long as we stay focused on it. I like that the Woman of Cups is showing up today on Thursday, when we have that Sunday reading of this Man of Cups energy coming in. So we might feel a little bit more secure emotionally and stronger emotionally in the next coming of days, like this Woman of Cups energy, as we sort of become more fluid with the things around us and deal with them and sort of let them happen, and we accomplish them, and we can rejoice in those accomplishments. We do the things that I suggested, like maybe bond with our female friends and sisters and that sort of thing, and feed off of that energy. That might build us up to this place of Man of Cups, which feels like we're really sort of floating above all of it, right? And kind of surfing over it, because that card is called Surfer. And when I described it on Sunday, there was a couple of different things going on with that card. There was a couple of you in the room at that time that were definitely dealing with some men that had that energy. I could feel that. But as a whole, if we're coming into that sort of an energy, or if there is part of that energy by this weekend, this is the building of that. This is the beginning of that, okay? Obviously, I'm going to pull a card for for Friday and Saturday. So those things are going to also lead into this and factor into that card. So we'll see where that goes for us. But for today, like I said, rejoice in the day. Those of you that feel a little bit haunted or a little bit reminded or a little bit stuck in the past, which I do this too all the time. I can get just as caught there too, or feeling a little bit lonely, homesick, those sort of things. Those emotions are there, and they're there for a reason. They're there to teach us. Don't necessarily resist them. There's a simple spiritual rule that I always try and remind myself of, is whatever you resist will persist. So if you're in real resistance to it, which I was yesterday, I was very much in resistance to the anxiety I was feeling and the fear I was feeling, and it was getting worse and worse and worse. And then more situations were happening, like the truck guys had pulled everything apart on the truck and were sending me messages in Spanish saying things I didn't understand about what needed to be repaired and how much it was going to cost. And all of a sudden, what was a simple flat tire became this huge thing in Spanish that I was like, what is this? Oh my God, I can't deal with this. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. And need to breathe, man. Meditated twice yesterday. I had to actually sit down, get quiet, light a candle, and really get in the center of my head twice. And it still didn't, it fixed stuff momentarily, but it still didn't fully solve my anxiety, guys. So I have something to work on too. We all do, and hopefully, as you guys heal, I heal, we give each other the space and the validation by talking about it to heal. And I really suggest, I'm all heal. I really suggest, if you have Netflix, watch that movie Heal. It was a really, really powerful movie. I may have to watch it a few more times. But I think that's it for today. I want to read some of the comments really quick, just see how everybody is. Kelly says, my realization about the lessons of Mexico just transformed my whole energy. Kelly, it's funny. I've been sitting here really contemplating this last week whether or not Mexico has beat me in the sense, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but whether or not I am capable of handling this right now in my life, coupled with trying to build this dream and trying to do a lot of other things. There's some anxiety issues that are coming up that I've never experienced before that I'm really questioning whether or not I'm strong enough to handle it. Even in my meditations, I'm talking to my spirit guides, to God, and I'm saying, okay, I know that you don't give me anything more than I can handle, but I have a feeling that, my ego self or my brain self isn't, maybe isn't able. Maybe I need to go back to the States. Maybe I need to go somewhere where I'm familiar, where I understand the laws, where I can communicate clearly if my truck needs a flat replaced, and I can understand why they're trying to do what they're doing, and it's not a total complete mess where I feel like maybe I'm being taken down the river because they think, oh, he's got a credit card, let's just fix everything. I don't know, guys. So I am going to go pick up the truck today because it should be fixed with the proper things that were mandatory that needed to be fixed. That was the agreement that we came to, but I had to have an interpreter reach that agreement for me. My therapist actually had to call the car repair place for me because she speaks both English and Spanish, and I just could not navigate what they were telling me via text message. So so let's take a time to rejoice in our intuitive sides, in our feminine nature, in our ability to maybe step back, breathe, and find new solutions and new opportunities. Not everything needs to be fixed at once, I guess, too, would be a good analogy for all of this, especially when I look at that truck situation. But I'm really glad that you guys all tuned in. I'm really glad that Kelly Casey says I'm strong enough to stay out of ego. It's true, but it's hard to stay out of ego. And it's hard to not want to protect oneself. And that is ego because it's fear, And I know that, I don't know. I feel like I need to go back to the United States. That's really what I'm feeling very strongly. That seems to be the only thing that gives relief. And I feel on the flip side, that also feels like a fear-based decision. But if I'm going to wake up with this much anxiety every morning, and this is not the way that I want to live, no matter what I'm doing, whether I'm shooting videos and giving readings, or this isn't healing for me. This isn't, it doesn't feel good. Let's just say that. So it's hard to stay focused on the good. Kelly Casey says, grab a Mexican friend to help. Totally. And I have done that. Most of the time, all Mexican friends want to be paid. And that's the part where I start to question, then are you really my Mexican friend? So, and that's the other thing to all of this too, is I'm here with my dogs, which are the most precious thing to me. And I do feel very alone. I live in a house by myself. I was talking to a friend of mine. I think he's a friend. He's somebody, of course, that I pay. He helps me around the house. And he was saying to me, when I was telling him a bit about my worries, he was saying to me, yeah, but everybody here in the neighborhood knows you live alone and this, that, and the other. I just feel like it's growing too big for me to sort of stop it in a way. Like maybe the stress and the worry and the fear has gotten so big that the train has kind of left the station. I don't know. I hope not. I really, really hope not. But that's me and a little bit personal information for me. You guys stay in your rejoicer card. Trust your emotions. Trust your intuition. I'm going to try and do the same. I'm going to try and not live too much in my emotions, though, because fear is an emotion. And that's been causing me the anxiety. Like I said, I do have some good things coming today. I have a couple of readings that will take the focus off of me and help me get outside of myself. I get to see my therapist today, which will be really, really good. And hopefully we'll see how the day plays out. Please like, share these videos, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. And I look forward to seeing you guys all tomorrow. If anybody wants to message me or needs to ask a question or speak with me, please feel free to do so. It's interesting that Kelly's on today because I wanted to message you yesterday. I very well may regret it, but where I'm at right now, Kelly's asking me, will I regret leaving Mexico? I very well may regret it, but I'm kind of weighing it out. And I would rather live with the regret than live with the anxiety. The anxiety is really, I'm waking up at like 5 a.m. and my body is just shaking in fear. And I don't know how to control it. I'm not 100% sure that it's not transmediumship stuff going on. I'm not so sure that it's not like spirits waking me up trying to like talk to me while I'm asleep. But that also makes me feel a little bit like, no, I don't want that going on either. And I've never purported to be a medium. I don't try to be a medium. I just read my cards because that feels safe and simple enough and connected enough. And I feel like the information gets across and it helps people. I do think mediumship is beautiful work, and I would be amazed and honored to do it, but I don't fully feel as though I completely understand it or feel completely in control. And I don't know if my ego is willing enough to give up that control. So if that's the case, then I don't think I can do it. And I think that sometimes admitting that we can't is okay. So that's sort of where I'm at, if that makes any sense to anybody, because I've been sitting in this for a couple of weeks now, back and forth with it. I'm struggling. Ever since the break-in, there's been 2 attempted break-ins in my apartment, and it's just been, and then the other day I went up there to check for mail and stuff and just make sure that the apartment was okay. And I found a long piece of metal laying on the inside of the courtyard by the gate, like somebody was messing with the lock with a long piece of metal. So, and they left it there. So I don't know if they're necessarily just messing with me and then I'm allowing it to mess with me, but it is messing with me. And I'm really tired, guys. Like, I'm tired. So I get up every morning and I try and find the energy to do this and remain positive and give you guys what I see and keep focus as best I can. But when you have things like these things going on around you and you're trying to remain calm, it's hard to remain calm. So I don't know. I love you guys, though. I do know that, and I'm grateful that you tune in and you give me hope that maybe this is all really possible. And maybe I'll turn a corner with this. I don't know. But I have my processes too, and I have my struggles too. I go to readers too when I need my help, and when I'm too close to a situation and I need to find my answers, I go to specific people and have them read me too for help. And as I said, I've been meditating a lot, and that helps. It calms me and it gets me centered again. But then I get back out into the energy of Mexico, and the energy. It's a busy, bonkers city filled with all kinds of stuff that you don't fully understand. And so, just because I'm not Mexican. So, I wonder if maybe I'm just too sensitive right now to be here. That might be the case. I don't know. And if that's a cop out or something I'm going to regret, well, then that's something that I'm going to have to learn too. But I'll deal with that as it comes. You know, the water sign in me will flow around it and do what it needs to do, I guess. All right, I've been on for a long time. I'm sorry I've skipped a lot of your guys's Kelly Casey. I don't know why I'm seeing all of Kelly's comments today. She says, "You are not alone, my friend." It's funny, I know I'm not alone, but I feel very alone right now. And the kicker to all of this is I know that I'm not alone on the other side too. Like, I know that I'm guided, and I know that God is present, and I know that I have spirit guides around me. I'm just having a hard time accessing them, trusting them, and staying with them. And so what I do is I try and help others, because that will at least get me out of myself and my worries. So I need to probably go now. I probably need to meditate again, because like I said, I do have people coming today at 10:30, and then I have a reading scheduled. I have 2 readings scheduled back to back, so I have to be ready for those. And somewhere in all of this, I need to go pick up the truck and get to the therapist. So you guys take care. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys tomorrow. All right.